Paul.
Started.
So we are in the second canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, the cause of all causes, 5th chapter, 36th verse. How the creation happens. Now, yasye havayave lokam kalpayanti manishinah katya adi bhidha sapta saptordhvam jaganadibihi. Iha means this universe. Avayavaihi, the limbs of the body. So how the philosophers are imagining the whole planetary system that has been given. So these great philosophers, what they do, they are imagining how this complete planetary system are the displays of upper and lower limbs of the body of Lord. Here, this yavaihi, yavaihi. So by the limbs of the body, Lokan, all the planets, Kalpayanti, imagine, Manishinaha, these great philosophers, Kati Adivihi, down from the waist, Adaha, downwards, Saptaha, 7 systems, Sapta Urdhvam, and the 7 upwards, Jaganadivihi, 10th portion. So upper are the upper limbs, lower are the lower limbs. In this way, they are imagining this whole universe consisting of the upper and lower planetary system. They are nothing but the universal body of the Lord. So they are imagining the limbs. They are the limbs of Lord. Lower limbs, upper limbs, in this way. They are the display of the limbs of the Lord. Okay. Raksha Mataji, read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Sloka number 36. Yasye havavaye lokan kalpayanti manishinah hatyadi bhiratah sapta saptordhvam jadanadibihi. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai ho. The word kalpayanti or imagine is significant. The Virat universal form of the Absolute is an imagination of the speculative philosophers who are unable to adjust to the eternal two-handed form of Lord Sri Krishna. Although the universal form is imagined by the great philosophers, is one of the features of the Lord. It is more or less imaginary. It is said that the 7 upper planetary systems are situated above the waist of the universal form, whereas the lower planetary systems are situated below his waist. The idea impressed herein is that the Supreme Lord is conscious of every part of his body, and nowhere in the creation is there anything beyond his control. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Purushasya mukham brahma kshatrametasya bahavaha urvo vaishyo bhagavatah padhyam shudro vijayatah. Now how the 4 varnas are created. So the Brahmanas, Purushasya mukham, they represent his mouth. Brahmanas represent his mouth. The Kshatriyas, Kshatram etasya bahavaha, the Kshatriyas are the arms of Lord. Uraha Vaishyaha, the Vaishyas are his thighs. Sometimes they say stomach also. The Vaishyas are the thighs. And then Padbhyam Shudro Vijayatah, the Shudras are the legs. Now, when you take darshan, the first darshan of whom you take? The lotus feet of the Lord. That is how one should remember Shudras belong to, they are the most important varna in the 4 varnashrama. And they should also know that they have to serve all the upper varnas. Then that person is real Shudra. If he competes with the upper varnas, then he is not a Shudra. Brahmanas are the mukha. The Kshatriyas are his arms. The Vaishyas are his thighs. And Shudras are his legs. Okay. So Varnas are also created now. Aruna read.
Hare Krishna. Text 37. Purushasya mukam brahma kshatrametasya bahavaha urvorvaishyo bhagavataha padbhyam shudro vyajayata. Translation: the Brahmanas represent his mouth, the Kshatriyas his arms, the Vaishyas his thighs, and the Shudras are born of his legs. Purport. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. All living beings are stated to be the parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord, and how they are so is explained in this verse. The four divisions of human society, namely the intelligent class, the Brahmanas, the administrative class, the Kshatriyas, the mercantile class, the Vaishyas, and the labor class, the Shudras, are all in different parts of the body of the Lord. As such, no one is different from the Lord. The mouth of the Lord and the legs of the body are non-different constitutionally, but the mouth or the head of the body is qualitatively more important than legs. At the same time, the mouth, the legs, the arms, and the thighs are all component parts of the body. These limbs of the body of the Lord are meant to serve the complete whole. The mouth is meant for speaking and eating. The arms are meant for the protection of the body, and the legs are meant for carrying the body, and the waist of the body is meant for maintaining the body. The intelligent class in society, therefore, must speak on behalf of the body as well as accept foodstuffs to satisfy the hunger of the body. The hunger of the Lord is to accept the fruits of sacrifice. The Brahmanas or the intelligent class must be very expert in performing such sacrifices, and the subordinate classes must join in such sacrifices. To speak for the Supreme Lord means to glorify the Lord by means of propagating the knowledge of the Lord as it is, broadcasting the factual nature of the Lord and the factual position of all other parts of the whole body. The Brahmanas, therefore, are required to know the Vedas or the ultimate source of knowledge. Veda means knowledge, and Anta means the end of it.
Okay.
According to
So why it is said, when you feed the Brahmanas, Krishna eats through the Brahmanas. When you say Brahmanas, which Brahmanas? Not just born Brahmanas. Born Brahmanas going to office, they are Shudras. The Brahmanas who are studying the Vedas, Vedic Brahmanas, they are called, they are fed, and they're supposed to eat. Once I asked one of the Brahmanas, because I went for the recording, I just asked, you go for all this Shraddha and all. We accept. If we don't accept, then for us that is sin. Because Lord eats through the mouth of the Vedic Brahmanas, and he is supposed to go and take the Shraddha food. Generally, people avoid Shraddha food, isn't it? But Brahmanas are supposed to eat the Shraddha food. Vedic Brahmanas, that's also a big sacrifice. It's not a joke to go and take Shraddha food. Marriage food, everybody likes. Birthday food, everybody likes. When it comes to Shraddha food, we sometimes criticize Brahmanas. We should not. Because it is not so easy to go to the house and perform the sanskaras, especially the Antim sanskaras, and take Shraddha food. It's not so easy. That's why Vedic Brahmanas have to be respected. Vedic Brahmanas are those Brahmanas who are trained in the Gurukula Ashrama right from the childhood. For them, the mantras are in the mouth. The mantras are in the mouth. That is how they do kanthastha of all the verses. They're supposed to study. And for that, they are supposed to take satvika ahara. You cannot expect a Brahmana taking rajasika ahara and learning the mantras. That is why Gurukul ashramas are very strict in respect to the food habits which we are giving. In our also Gurukul, we are training the boys. They are supposed to train them in a very systematic way. They cannot eat outside food. Somebody bought some ice cream. I shouted at them. You want the children to be developed as a Vedic Brahmana, then lot of sacrifice right from the beginning. The child has to sacrifice all his desires. Ruffle lace, this and that, cone ice cream. He has to. He has to sacrifice. Gurukul means sacrifice. And even in the Bhavishya also sacrifice. Going to somebody's house, accepting the food. It's not so easy. Sometimes we criticize Brahmanas. Brahmanas are not there. Understand, Vedic rituals are not there. Vedic rituals are not there, then the Devatas are not pleased. Devatas are not pleased, Krishna is not happy. Krishna yagyathat karmano nitra. Krishna eats through the yagya. That's why very important. This is how the Rakshasi pravritti was very much predominant. Hiranyakashipu himself is a Rakshasa. What he said, I will make Lord appear by first killing the cows and the Brahmanas. And the Brahmanas are dependent on the cows. Cows are there, Brahmanas, Satvik Ahara is there. Cow is not there, Brahmana is not there. Brahmana is not there then. So he says, kill the cows, Brahmanas are killed, rituals are killed, rituals are stopped, the Devatas will be suffering, then Lord has to appear and I will fight with Lord. Just this is known as Asuric Pravritti. And this is what the Britishers tried to do. They started making the slaughterhouses, sending our cows. So Vedic Brahmanas, we are not talking about the general Brahmanas will not go to anybody's place and take Shraddha food. It's only Vedic Brahmanas. Even when the marriage also, first thing is given to the Brahmanas. Every offering is given to the cow, the Brahmanas. The first thing, Go Brahmana Hitaicha, Jagaditaya Krishnaya, Govindaya Namo Nama. Which Brahmana is spoken? Not the Shudra Brahmana. Which Brahmana is spoken? Vedic Brahmana is spoken. Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
next.
According to the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord is the source of everything. Aham sarvasya prabhavaha. And thus, the end of all knowledge, Vedanta, is to know the Lord, to know our relationship with Him, and to act according to the relationship only. The parts of the body know His relationship with the Lord. The human life is especially meant for this purpose, namely to know the factual relationship of every living being with the Supreme Lord. Without knowing this relationship, the human life is spoiled. The intelligent class of men, the Brahmanas, are therefore especially responsible for broadcasting this knowledge of our relationship with the Lord and leading the general mass of people to the right path. The administrative class is meant for protecting the living beings so that they can serve this purpose. The mercantile class is meant for producing food grains and distributing them to the complete human society so that the whole population is given chance to live comfortably and discharge the duties of human life. The mercantile class is also required to give protection to the cows in order to get sufficient milk and milk products, which alone can give the proper health and intelligence to maintain a civilization perfectly meant for knowledge of the ultimate truth. And the labor class, who are neither intelligent nor powerful, can help by physical services to the other higher classes and thus be benefited by their cooperation. Therefore, the universe is a complete unit in relationship with the Lord, and without this relationship with the Lord, the whole human society is disturbed and is without any peace and prosperity. This is confirmed in the Vedas. Brahmano asya mukham asid bahu rajanya kritaha. Hare Krishna.
So the Vaishyas are supposed to maintain the cows, provide cow products. The Brahmanas are supposed to take a lot of cow products. Kshatriyas should protect the living beings. So cow maintenance, cow products is also for Kshatriyas also. Shudras you give, they don't have taste for it. They don't have tongue for it. So their ahara is tamasic ahara. Lot of tamas. Because of that, they have less intelligence. That they are supposed to serve the upper class. Bhurlokah kalpitah padhyam Bhuvarlokah syanabhitah Hruda swarloka urasa Maharloko mahatmanaha. Now, the lower planetary systems up to the limit of earthly stratum has been described, just situated in his legs, lower limbs. Middle planetary system beginning from Brahmaloka is situated in his navel, and the still higher planets occupied by the demigods and highly cultured sages and saints are situated in the chest of the Lord. So lower are in his legs, and the middle one is in his navel, nabitaha, bhuvalokaha, nabitaha, and then it goes to his heart, swarloka and all, his heart, muhurlokaha. In this way, mahurlokaha. Maharloka is occupied by the great sages and the saints. So in this way, Mahatmanaha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead's limbs. So the whole universe is situated in his body. So the great philosophers, they see the universes in the body of Krishna. This is a universal form of Lord. That is how they imagine. It's an imaginary form of Lord. Universal form is an imaginary form of Lord. Whole universe is in his legs. From the Bhuvarloka, Bhuvaswaha, all this goes in the upper right from his navel. But he has his beautiful form. But how to imagine it? How to see it? Lord is there in everything. Everything is there in Lord. In this. Okay, Bindu Mataji, read.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, throat not. I'll try.
Aruna, read.
Hare Krishna. Bhurloka kalpita padhyam Bhuvarlokasya nabitah Hrida swarloka urasa Maharloko mahatmanah. Translation: the lower planetary systems up to the limit of the earthly stratum are said to be situated in his legs. The middle planetary systems beginning from Bhuvarloka are situated in his navel, and the still higher planetary systems occupied by the demigods and highly cultured sages and saints are situated in the chest of the Supreme Lord. There are 14 spheres of planetary systems within this universe. The lower systems are called Bhuvarloka. The middle systems are the lower systems are called Bhurloka. The middle systems are called Bhuvarloka, and the higher planetary systems up to Brahmaloka, the highest planetary systems of the universe, are called Swarloka, and all of them are situated in the body of the Lord. In other words, no one within this universe is without a relationship with the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Next. Gritayam janalokosya tapolokah stanadvayat Murdhabi satyalokastu brahmalokah sanatanah. Okay. Grivayam janalokosya tapolokah स्तनद्वयात् स्तनद्वयात् मूर्धभि सत्यलोकस्तु ब्रह्मलोकः सनातनः. So till chest which loka was there? The sages and all are there, that loka. That is Maharloka. So your Bhu in the navel, higher planetary system goes up to Brahmaloka. The highest planetary system is Swaraloka. The highest planetary system of the universe are called Swaraloka, and all of them are situated on the body. So they are all in the higher planetary system. Swaraloka is Swarga. Bhu, Bhuva, Swara, Mahara, Tapa, Jana, and then comes Satyaloka. So from the forefront of the chest up to the neck are situated Janaloka, Tapaloka, whereas Satyaloka is situated on the head. Okay. So Bhu is there, Bhuvar is there, Swara is there, Mahar is there. The next three, Jana is there, Tapo is there, Satya is there. From the chest to the neck and then to the head. Okay. 4 from the navel to the chest, 3 upper. So in this way, the imagination is there. This is an imaginary. The great philosophers imagine how this whole planetary system is in the body of Krishna. That is how Krishna says, everything is situated in me. Yes, everything is situated in me, but I am not there in anything. Masthani sarva bhutani. Then suddenly he says, Nacha mastani bhutani. If you see in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the whole complete contradiction is there. Everything is in me, and next verse immediately Lord says, nothing is there in me. That means nothing is there in my spiritual world. Everything is there in my jurisdiction. I am supervising everything. Like everybody is situated in the government of Prime Minister. But none of us are there in the Prime Minister's house. Nor we are allowed to go there. So everything, we don't have qualifications to go there. When we don't have qualifications to go to the material place, the highest designated place, then what qualifications we have to go back to Godhead? For that also qualification is required. Okay. So I think you only continue, Anuna. And Raksha can read the purport, can share the purport with you. Or no, you only read next Raksha with me. Yeah, today why they cannot join? Or they're playing dandiya or what? Read.
Grivayam janalokosya tapolokastanadvayat murdabhihi satyalokastu brahmaloka sanatanaha. Translation: from the forefront of the chest up to the neck of the universal form of the Lord are situated the planetary systems named Janaloka and Tapaloka, whereas Satyaloka, the topmost planetary system, is situated on the head of the form. The spiritual planets, however, are eternal. Many times in the pages we have discussed the spiritual planets situated beyond the material sky, and the description is corroborated in this verse. The word Sanatana is significant. This very idea of eternity is expressed in Bhagavad Gita 8.2, where it is said that beyond the material creation is the spiritual sky, where everything is eternal. Sometimes Satyaloka, the planet in which Brahma resides, is also called Brahmaloka. But the Brahmaloka mentioned here is not the same as the Satyaloka planetary system. This Brahmaloka is eternal, whereas the Satyaloka planetary system is not eternal. And to distinguish between the two, the adjective Sanatana has been used in this case. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, this Brahmaloka is the Loka or abode of Brahman or the Supreme Lord. In the spiritual sky, all the planets are as good as Lord himself. The Lord is all spirit, and his name, fame, glories qualities, pastimes, etc., are all non-different from him because he is absolute. As such, the planets in the kingdom of God are also non-different from him. In those planets, there is no difference between the body and the soul, nor is there any influence of time as we experience in this material world. And in addition to there being no influence of time, the planets in Brahmaloka, due to being spiritual, are never annihilated. All variegatedness in the spiritual planets is also one with the Lord. And therefore, the Vedic aphorism Ekam Eva Dvitiyam is fully realized in that Sanatana atmosphere of spiritual variegatedness. This material world is only a shadow, phantasmagoria of the spiritual kingdom of the Lord, and because it is a shadow, it is never eternal. The variegatedness in the material world of duality, spirit and matter, cannot be compared to that of spiritual world. Because of poor fund of knowledge, less intelligent persons sometimes mistake the conditions of the shadow world to be equivalent to those of the spiritual world, and thus they mistake the Lord and his pastimes in the material world to be one with the conditioned souls and their activities. The Lord condemns such less intelligent persons in the Bhagavad Gita 9.11. Avajananti mamudha manushin tanumashritam param bhavajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Whenever the Lord incarnates, he does so in his full internal potency, Atma Maya, and less intelligent persons mistake him to be one of the material creations. Srila Sridhara Swami, therefore, rightly commenting on this verse, says that the Brahmaloka mentioned here is Vaikuntha, the kingdom of God, which is Sanatana or eternal, and is therefore not exactly like the material creation described above. The Virat universal form of the Lord is an imagination of the material world. It has nothing to do with the spiritual world or the kingdom of God. Hare Krishna.
You have to see nicely this Bhurloka. Bhurloka. It is in the middle. Okay. It's the middle. Bhuvar. Then comes Swara. Bhu is in the middle. Bhu. Then comes in the navel is Bhuvar. Then Swara. Then Mahar. Then from there starts others. Chana, Tapa, Satya. A lower planetary system also has to be seen. What are the lower planetary systems? That starts from the waist of the Lord. It is waist, then comes thighs, then comes knees, then comes shins, then ankles, then upper portion of the feet, the soles of the feet. So let us see. Tatkatyam chatalam. Tatkatyam chatalam kliptam urubhyam vitalam vibhon janubhyam sutalam siddham jangyabhyam tu tada talatalam mahatalam tu gulfabhyam prapaddabhyam rasatalam patalam padatalata tilokamaya Tatkatyam chatalam. Katyam means waist. Tatkatyam cha atalam. We say atalam is atalam. So atalam. Then kliptam urubhyam. Thighs is vitalam. It's not vitalam. Vitalam. Atalam vitalam. Then vipoho is of the Lord. Then janubhyam. Ankles. ankles. What is there in the ankles? Which planetary system is there? Shuddham Janghya. Which planetary system? Sutalam is there. Sutalam. Third is Sutalam. So how many became? Atalam, Vitalam, Sutalam. Janghabhyam, Jangha. Jangha means thighs. This joint comes Jangha. Talatalam. Then Mahatalam is the fifth one, where it is Gulfabhyam, calves. Then Prapadyam, upper portion. Rasatalam. Then Patalam, the seventh one, that is at the bottom. So how many became? 7. Started from where? Atalam, Vitalam, Sutalam, then Talatalam, Mahatalam, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala. Who is there in Patala? Bali Maharaj. And Lord is there with Bali Maharaj in Patala also. So this is the Virata form of the Lord. Okay. So Raksha Mataji read.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Shloka 40-41. Tatkatyam chatalam klapta bhurubhyam vitalam vibho janubhyam sutalam shuddham jangabhyam tu talatalam mahatalam tu gulfabhyam prapaddabhyam rasatalam patalam padatala iti lokamaya puman. Translation. My dear son Narada, now know from me that there are 7 lower planetary systems out of the total 14. The first planetary system, known as Atala, is situated on the waist. The second, Vitala, is situated on the thighs. The third, Sutala, on the knees. The fourth, Talatala, on the shanks. The fifth, Mahatala, on the ankles. The sixth, Rasatala, on the upper portion of the feet. And the seventh, Patala, on the sole of the feet.
So
Thus, the
see,
Virat.
one minute. Atala is there where? Waist. Then Vitala where it is? Thighs. Knees, what is there? Sutala. Then calves, Talatala. Mahatala, ankles. Upper, Rasatala. Down, Patala. Okay?
Yes, Mataji. Thus, the Virat form of the Lord is full of all planetary systems. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai ho. Modern enterprises, the astronauts who travel in space may take information from Srimad Bhagavatam. That is, in space there are 14 divisions of planetary system. The situation is calculated from the earthly planetary system, which is called Bhuraloka. Above Bhuraloka is Bhuvaraloka. And the topmost planetary system is called Satyaloka. These are the upper 7 lokas of our planetary systems. And similarly, there are 7 lower planetary systems known as Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, and Patala lokas. All these planetary systems are secreted over the complete universe, which occupies an area of 2 billion times 2 billion square miles. The modern astronaut can travel only a few thousand miles away from the Earth, and therefore their attempts to travel in the sky is something like child's play on the shore of an expansive ocean. The moon is situated in the third status of the upper planetary system, and in the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, we shall be able to know the distant situation of the various planets secreted over the vast material sky. There are innumerable universes beyond the one in which we are put, and all these material universes cover only an insignificant portion of the spiritual sky, which is described above as Sanatan Brahmaloka. The Supreme Lord very kindly invites the intelligent human being to return home back to Godhead in the following verse of Bhagavad Gita 8.16. Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartito Jana Mam Upetyetu Kaunte Punarjanmana Vidyate. Beginning from Satyaloka, the topmost planets of the universe situated just below the eternal Brahmaloka, as described above, all the planets are material, and one's situation in any of the many material planets is still subject to the law of material nature, namely birth, death, old age, and disease. But one can get complete liberation from all the above mentioned material pangs when one enters into the eternal Brahmaloka, Sanatan, atmosphere, the kingdom of God. Therefore, liberation as contemplated by the speculative philosophers and the mystic is possible only when one becomes a devotee of the Lord. Anyone who is not a devotee cannot enter into the kingdom of God. Only by attainment of service attitude in the transcendental position can one enter into the kingdom of Godhead. Therefore, the speculative philosopher as well as the mystics must first of all be attracted to the devotional cult before they can factually attain liberation. Hare Krishna.
So speculative philosophers as well as the mystics they should first get attracted to the devotional cult. Because they are imagining so many things. It's an imaginary form. So instead of imagining, understand that Krishna is a person. How will you feed Krishna? How will you massage the feet of Krishna? You have to go to Patal Nagan. You cannot just imagine like this. Yes, universes are there, are under the supervision of Lord. They belong to Krishna. They are in Him. At the same time, they are not in Him. Though Vigraha, Archa Vigraha Sevanam is very important. Pada Sevanam, Archa Vigraha Sevanam. How Lakshmi ji is massaging the feet of Krishna. This is an imaginary form. She is there in the Patal Lokarna. Oh. So this is an imaginary form. But yes, all the universes belong to Krishna. Intentionally, Krishna showed this Virata Swarupa so that to mesmerize the impersonalists. Those who do not have the inclination to love Krishna's personal form. Okay. Bhurlokah kalpitah padhyam bhuvarlokosya nabitah swarlokah akalpito murdna iti va loka kalpana. So Bhurlokah, the entire planetary system from Patala to the earthly planetary system, down to earthly planetary system, Kalpitaha is imagined. Padbhyam, situated on the legs. Bhuvarlokaha, Asyaha, Nabhi. From the Nabhi, Bhuvarloka starts. That means 8 are there from the waist. 8. And 6 from the navel. That is imaginary. All are imaginary. Kalpitaha. Mudra from the chest. Itiva loka kalpana. So this is an imaginary form. Others may divide the whole planetary system into 3 divisions, namely the lower planetary system on the legs up to the earth, the middle planetary system on the navel, and the upper planetary system from Swarloka to the chest, to the head. Bhuvar, Swara, upper. From here it starts, from the chest it starts. Middle is navel, okay, from the chest, Swar, Mahara, Tapa, Jana, Satyaloka. 6 are there. What are there? Bhuvar is there, navel. Bhuvar, Swara, chest. Then Mahar, Jana, Tapa, and then Satya. Till the neck only. Face has not been told, directly the neck. Okay. And then waist, say, all over planetary system. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, then Talatala, Mahatala, ankles, Rasatala, and then down is Patala. This is an imaginary form of Lord. The purport 3 divisions of the complete planetary systems are here mentioned. 14 are imagined by others, and this also explained. Thus, in the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 2nd canto, 5th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled The Cause of All Causes. So next chapter, Purush Sukta, confirmed. So when yajna happens, the time Purush Sukta is chanted. So Purush Sukta confirmed. So that will be the next chapter. Any doubts? Gyandeep Prabhu, you're late in the class. I think you should put more attention in studying now.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी। तो
Yeah.
माता जी एक ही जो लोक है वो सनातन एटर्नल है, बाकी के सारे जो है वो मटीरियल है, बाकी के जो 13 है
हाँ,
और वो कल इमेजिनरी भी है।
सत्य भी एटर्नल नहीं है। पूरे 14 के 14 मटेरियल ही है।
अच्छा।
हाँ, ये सत्यलोक का जब हम बोल रहे हैं, ब्रह्मलोक के 2 हैं। ब्रह्मलोक में जो ब्रह्मा जी कृष्ण अपने आप को विस्तार करते हैं गुणावतार में, वो सत्यलोक इटर्नल वर्ल्ड में है। देन सेम ब्रह्मा जी एक्सपेंड्स मेरू पर्वत. That Meru Parvat is a part of this material world. That is how Brahma ji expands himself for creation. He gives that strength to create through his own expansion at Meru Parvat. So there are 2 Brahmalokas, not just one Brahmaloka. How can Guna be in the material planet? So Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, when we say, there Mahesh refers to Sadashiv. Lord expands into Brahma, Balaram. Balaram expands into 4 Vyuhas, Vasudeva, Pradyumna, Anirudh, Sankarshan. Sankarshan again, when it goes on expanding into Mahasankarshan, same Mahasankarshan now divides into Mahavishnu, Mahasadashiv. Mahavishnu, Sadashiv. Sadashiv again expands into Shambhu. Shambhu expands into Shiva. So when we are talking about 3 Gunavataras, there refers to Sadashiv. Sadashiv is expansion, is Vishnu Tattva. Understand it? He is Vishnu Tattva. Okay? Even Brahmaji, Vishnu Tattva. They don't come in the... Then which Brahmaji has been spoken 75% attributes? One who is empowered by the Vishnu Tattva to do the further creation. So when Lord, from the navel of Lord, the Brahmaji is situated in the lotus flower, that is eternal world. Okay? 14 planetary systems are there in the navel, in the stem, lotus stem. There comes Meru Parvat. Okay. So Satyaloka, that is Meru Parvat. So we'll stop here. Panchakalpatarubhyasya vipasindubhyavacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Vaishnavavrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.